dare you, Matthew?
That's not negative, Bill. You take everything I say as a fucking attack on you.
Fucking vitriol.
I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
I don't understand it. We have this lovely guest in Trejon Dunkley with us today.
I made a very neutral statement that you took personally, and I'm not going to take responsibility for that. I'm going to tell you
responsibility for nothing.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm interrupting something. Like I can leave and come back.
No,
if you guys
you're good.
need to.
You're good. You're good.
I understand couple.
No,
couple arguments.
This is what the meat sweats is.
Really, what it is we invite people on to come counsel our relationship on the podcast.
Oh, okay, cool. I've been doing a lot of therapy, so
good, perfect.
I think I am qualified now.
Can you teach us about unpacking things that aren't like food products? Because that's what we're best at, is unpacking food products.
I've learned
emotions.
that eventually I'm going to have to confront my ex and talk about my emotions, and I say, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep them all inside underneath my sternum until I die.
Absolutely.
That's the place for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you get staked in the heart or something, then it like transfers onto the other person and you fuck their life up.
And then they're wondering, why did he fuck all of her friends?
You know what makes it more comfortable is if you just eat a lot of burritos too, because then your stomach feels overly full and you can't feel the pain in your heart.
Burritos are good.
I am a fan of a good Adobato burrito. There is a burrito stand across the street from my old place. It was like a 5-minute walk, and there were so many drunken stumbles there to get an Adobato burrito.
Those are the best.
What's an Adobato?
Isn't it like it's like a pork?
Yeah, it's like pork,
like a
fat,
stewed
something.
pork.
Yeah, it is dope as shit.
Yeah.
I like how they tried to like convince the world that like, oh, pigs are the other white meat, like pork is the other white meat. And no, it's pork's bad for you. Like,
pork's bad for you?
Yeah, pork's bad
pork
for
is
you.
terrible for you.
Why is pork bad for you?
Like it's they're just dirty animals.
Yeah.
Pigs are dirty animals.
It's not that they're dirty. They're actually very clean.
No, they're dirty animals. Okay. A third of the swine population that's farmed in America dies from shitting itself to death.
Yeah, that's because of the farm.
That's a dirty animal.
That's because of the farm conditions, not the pigs themselves.
Yeah, it's because we just fucking stuff them full as much food and get them as fat as we possibly can.
Yeah, it's because they can't move.
We have a bad thing going on.
We actually have a plate of bacon in front of us right now.
No, we don't.
I wish we did.
Oh, fuck, I forgot there's a video. I can't lie.
They have video evidence.
Oh, it's my favorite part of podcasting is lying.
I mean, I could like Photoshop a plate of bacon in.
I would be fine with that.
Better.
Could someone make some actual bacon?
That would be best.
No, we don't have any actual bacon.
Bill, go get some bacon. Me and Trejon are going to talk
And we'll
for
be
a
right
while.
back.
Everything's set up. Thank you for setting up the podcast for us today.
You're such a dick.
Go get us some bacon.
I'm not going to get bacon. I'm not going to get bacon. You're supposed to bring the meats. You've been the classic meat bringer.
That's true.
For the podcast.
That's true.
Wait, there is food on this podcast before?
Every time there's been meat on the podcast, Matt has provided it.
That's true.
He's been the meat provider.
The last time I brought him a steak.
The meat winner.
Yeah. The meat winner. I like that.
The meat winner.
It sounds a lot manlier than bread winner.
Yeah.
It does.
What do you do with bread?
bread.
Exactly.
Fuck
Fuck bread.
carbohydrates. We want
Stupid.
protein.
Yeah.
What, do I look like some motherfucker that eats sourdough? Fuck yourself.
Actually, I'm a motherfucker who eats sourdough.
I do love sourdough.
I like a nice sourdough bread bowl, guys. Not gonna lie.
I
with some
fucks
good
with
fucking
sourdough
soup.
bread bowl.
Oh.
I went to
fact.
San Francisco for debate finals my senior year
Yeah.
because I'm a fucking boss.
Yeah.
And I bought like a sourdough bread bear. And it was too cute to eat. Like, I did it. I ate it, but I felt bad doing it.
Bread bear.
It was adorable.
Did it look like a gummy bear?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it
But
kind of looked
bread?
like a giant bread gummy bear.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the little hamster dough ball things?
No.
It's like a Japanese food, and they're little breads shaped like hamsters, and they like are painted to look exactly like hamsters. Like,
Whoa.
and they have buttholes.
Whoa.
It's fucked up.
Are they like filled with like red bean paste?
Oh,
too,
I hope
so. That when you bite into them, it looks like you're killing a small animal.
I hope so.
The Japanese are into some weird shit.
I hope there's
keep
an
on talking
actual.
about this.
I hope there's an actual hamster inside that's just been baked into this thing. You know, so when you eat it, it's real like lifelike.
Oh, I bet
It's a
hamster
hamster
flesh
pie.
tastes great, though. I'm sure it's very tender.
God. I've eaten a
probably
squirrel.
fine.
I have eaten squirrel.
How was squirrel?
Squirrel's not bad. It's if they're natural, like out of town squirrels.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, unless it like
You don't want none of that city
you don't
squirrel
want a city
shit.
squirrel.
No, fuck the city
You don't
squirrel.
They
want a city
eat a
squirrel.
lot of garbage.
Yeah.
They eat a lot of those poisoned oranges on college campuses.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. There's poisoned oranges on college campuses?
The oranges at ASU and like all college campuses are just like decorative. Like they inject them with shit.
I'm super mad, even madder now.
Doesn't that piss you off?
Even more mad now.
Yeah, they inject it with shit to make it inedible. So like homeless people can't eat them.
Oh, that's
fuck
so
the
rude.
homeless. It's the worst.
That's so rude. Is that why they're all like white wrapped?
Yeah, that's why they're all like abnormally huge.
You just literally like changed a bit of mine with that statement.
And isn't that what podcasting is all about, guys?
I'm super stoked. I'm gonna have to remember my outrage and channel it into that bit.
Yeah, carve it into your arm. That's how I remember my outrage.
Well, I'm not carving into my arm. Man.
All right, well, shit. I thought you were a sad boy.
I'm not that sad. I'm not that sad where I'm cutting.
All right. Well, I can suggest things from now and then.
No, I feel like if you didn't start cutting before you were like 12, you passed it.
Yeah, you're never going to do it.
Yeah, like 12 to 15 is like the prime cutting time.
I don't know. I'm 35 now, and the other day I was like, you know what sounds good? Just a nice etching into the side of my leg.
But did you start cutting when you were 15?
No, I've never cut before.
Oh, look at me. I'm Matt Walker. I've never cut.
Oh, I've done a lot of other fucking destructive shit. Like, listen, I've spent my life in very precarious situations because I hate myself. So
I love how you guys are still talking about cutting. Meanwhile, it's like daylight Armageddon outside with a dust storm.
Listen, we just have to pretend like we're not dying.
I opened the car door and I felt like goddamn Dorothy.
Hey, we do have a basement, aka murder hole, to go down into in case of a tornado.
Here's the
problem.
We
have an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah,
that is the wrong franchise.
We have to go outside in order to do that.
We could get in. We could all jump down. Well, besides you, you're just a little too wide. But we could jump down through the receiver.
I will fucking just tear a hole in your floor. That's how wide I am, buddy. Like I will use this wideness for the destruction it was meant for.
Actually, I imagine you to have like a Santa Claus like power where you can like rub your nose and fit down any size chimney hole.
Do you have an actually chimney hole that goes down there though?
You could just use a vent.
That's not a chimney.
That's not a chimney.
That Santa Claus's powers only work with a chimney.
That's why no one gets presents in Arizona.
It's true. It's true. I actually, when I first moved here, I saw like one of the sexiest 70s houses I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The place had a sunken living room. It had like a tub, like a clawfoot tub in the bathroom, and then like a walk down into the shower that had like open, like looked like they were like double-sided or like glazed windows, so like you couldn't see into them, but you could see out. So you're showering and like looking out at the yard, and it was all tile and just badass like 70s style patterns. It was such a cool place, and I'm really pissed I didn't rent it.
Oh, that is dope as hell. Yeah, I
got bit by ants there.
How the fuck did we get there though?
I don't care. We were talking about bathrooms.
Were we?
I don't think we were at all.
We were talking about Wizard of Oz.
I was talking about bathrooms.
We were talking about chimneys.
We were talking about chimney. I don't know.
Well, we were talking about Santa Claus powers.
We were talking about Santa Claus powers.
I feel like none of us really got enough sleep last night. No. If we're going to be honest about things.
Yeah,
happy birthday to Gene Moore and Rob Mabey and Christopher Royer and John Henry
as well. Yeah.
And thank you to Mr. Royer for putting on a fabulous party for
the. And we all got quadruply drunk for all of their birthdays.
Yeah. Very, very drunk.
Absolutely.
Somehow Matt and I went to work today, which was just a testament to the dedication that we have.
Well, I got home at 5 a.m.
He's a strong boy.
And then went to sleep at 6 a.m. for a couple hours.
You were there. When did you get
I was there. Well, I left at like 1:30, and I crashed in my buddy's house. And then I've just been there all day because we also play D&D. So I like woke up on the couch at like 10:30. I'm like, can I just hang out here until noon?
That's the best. You're a D&D-er?
I am.
What's your current character in D&D right now? We're going to get some super nerdiness going on.
I am an immortal elf sex witch named Ningal.
I would expect nothing less.
It seems pretty accurate.
Seems very accurate.
I've often in my head, like, when people are like, describe Trejon. Like immortal elf sex witch, like absolutely.
Yeah, I told Blue Moon that, and he's like, "Okay, but what character are you playing?"
So, did you write? I assume you wrote a very, very in depth and
one of the
tragic backstory.
I'm a 3,000-year-old elf sex witch who was frozen in time and then got unfrozen and has been working as a courtesan for the past 200 years to try and get revenge on my ex-boyfriend who was a prince who cursed me.
Wow.
That's
phenomenal.
That's a dope story.
Yeah.
I hope you get that fucker.
I hope so. We were almost there. We were in a brothel where I used to work, and it's like right across the street from his castle. But goddamn, David Kays, who's in my party, he decided he needed to rob every single prostitute.
Yeah, and he's probably rolled high as fuck the entire.
Oh, he
way
rolled
through it.
low as shit.
Oh, really?
Because every single one of those prostitutes caught us.
Oh no!
And then we killed a witch. Just for no fucking reason, just because she wouldn't die fast enough. And then we went to prison.
As one does.
Yeah. And then we sexually harassed our new party member for the entire game. Like, Dave decided we're not leaving this dungeon until this guy shows us his dick. And because he's a lawful neutral, he refused. So just for 5 hours, it was, you want to get out of this cell? I got a lockpick. You got a dick.
God, I want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
That's every D&D game I've ever played. Like, I get put, my character's name is Chesticles.
Yeah.
And I get put a limiter on how many times I can spit check somebody. and then there's a limit to how many boner checks people do on me because I'm just a really perverted little piece of shit.
But what are you in the game?
I'm a halfling. I'm a halfling, stout, and then a dwarf.
What are you?
But what are you in the game?
Oh,
what's my character, guys? What would I be?
you're Gore Thorson,
You're Santa.
king of
No,
of
but
uplands.
like, what would be my dude if I played D&D? I would love to play D&D. By the way, I was never allowed to
I
play
would love
D&D.
to see
back
Matt
then.
as like an orc.
Yeah, you would be like an orc or a barbarian.
Yeah.
Or like a barbarian.
Yeah, just a
class
fucking
orc.
wrecker.
Just a tank.
Yeah.
Just straight set for tank.
Yeah.
Dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
No magic. You don't need it. You
Yeah,
don't
no,
need that
all
magic,
barbarians are actually illiterate in the game canon, I learned.
Yeah,
Really?
you can only speak the common, because
Yeah.
there's
Wow.
different languages and stuff you can all speak.
Why can't I be a smart barbarian? I feel like in real life I'm a smart barbarian.
No,
Can
you're
I have,
a gentle
like-
giant.
Can I have like some
and I
kind
would
of
love to see you play as like chaotic neutral. Like that's my favorite to play.
Chaotic
You can
neutral?
just do whatever the fuck
Oh
you
yeah,
want.
our entire party
Yeah.
is chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
And our dungeon master, Giuseppe Giovanni.
Shout out to the DM.
Shout out to the DM.
double G?
He hates us all because he's like a legit ass nerd. Like
Like,
Comic
he
Con is
knows
his
how to-
Christmas.
He knows how to fucking
Yeah, he's
play.
been playing D&D for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And then us assholes are like, we want to play a campaign. Can I be a sex witch?
Yeah.
And like I put it
just
out as
upset.
a joke, like I want to be a sex witch, and then he pulled out his Pathfinder book, is like, okay, well, there's no witches technically, but we can make you a sorcerer. I'm like, fuck you. I did want to get this intense.
No, that's what happens with people that actually know how to play the game with people that are just playing to have fun with friends.
You know what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
tonight? I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna create a character.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm going to. I'm gonna
Please
go
do.
home and I'm gonna create a fucking character.
There's a really fucking cool website too. I want to call it. It's called HeroForge.
yeah.
.com, and you can go on there and you can design a character miniature.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
Like,
yeah.
And they can
yeah.
3D print it out of different materials and shit. Like I had the baddest ass representation of my guy, just loincloth, cape, and wild hair, charging into battle with a sword in one arm and a rat like perched on his shoulder.
That's fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah, that's all I've ever
Oh, I
wanted.
had a spectral rat.
Nice.
His name was Winston.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
I have
told
a
me
viper
things.
named Jolly.
I'm gonna have a fucking Kodiak bear. Can I have a Kodiak bear?
can-
Can I just get a? Where do I get a Kodiak
I
bear?
mean, you can like put it in that you want to get that,
Yeah.
and then like a lot
And
of
then you
times
can quest for it?
Yeah, your DM
Okay.
will like write it in. Like,
Listen.
I had a chance to have a saber-toothed tiger, and I decided to kill it and wear its head.
Yeah, we
That's pretty badass,
yeah.
though.
Giuseppe wrote a very fun campaign that involved a riddle, and all of us, like me, Dave, and our other player Jacob, looked at each other and were like, "Fuck riddles."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, so you just want to leave this guy in the cage?" And was like, "Yeah, no, fuck your riddle."
Yeah, fuck
And then
riddles.
we brought in a new player, and he immediately was like, "Oh, it's a bird cage." I was like, "Fuck you, fuck you, and fucking solving the riddle."
I hate puzzles, and I don't care what the fuck game it is.
fucking hate riddles.
Like when Pokemon. Remember, as a kid, you'd be playing Pokemon, and then you'd get to like a puzzle level, and I would like frustrate myself
Yeah.
and want to die from that for like a week.
Oh yeah, when you have to go to the Pokemon casino and get more Pokeyen.
Yeah, fuck that.
I guess you've never played like Portal or like Portal 2.
I can't stand puzzle games.
No,
Fuck, dude, it's
fuck video
so
games.
much
Can't stand
fucking
puzzle
fun.
games at all.
Oh, it's so much
of
fun.
any kind.
I love problem solving though. That's like one of my favorite things to do. It's just like
I do not
figure out what a problem is and
I
find
have
a
to
solution.
do it for a living right now, and that really sucks. I fucking hate it. And my mom, I was talking to my mother today. She's like, I'm really proud of you and the problem solving skills that you use at work. I was just like, and then I'm like, well, yeah, I just want to get to a point where I can, really focus on stand up. And she's just like, but stand up isn't going to pay you money, Billy. And I'm just like, just keep cutting me, Dina.
Thanks.
Just keep fucking cutting me.
D, I just want to tell you that I still love you, but you need to give Bill a break. He's a hardworking boy.
I forgot you're trying to fuck
boy.
Bill's mom.
Yes.
Nice. How's that going for you?
Poorly.
It's very, very poorly. I really am not putting the effort in that it deserves.
Wine and dine.
Dina is a sweet lady.
Wine. She's a connoisseur of
lived
fine cuisine.
A very cultured life. Ooh. She's a professor. And so she requires a different level of attention that I've not been able to
lay it down,
get up yet. So
well, my mom's available. She will destroy you.
Yeah.
She is a sweet little. She's a sweet big Jamaican lady. She's like 6 foot.
Yeah, Ma Dunks would kill you.
Oh yeah, she would wreck you.
Oh, I'm into this.
My mom is a spinner compared to Ma Dunks.
And your mom's like from Jamaica, right?
Oh yeah, my mom is legit from Jamaica.
Oh man.
Have you ever seen an angry 6 foot ginger Jamaican woman?
No, it sounds amazing.
It's a horrifying sight.
It sounds like so much fun.
Oh, it was like
really
looking
nice
back,
when
it's
I
great,
met her.
but I'm lucky I survived.
Yeah.
Did you meet my mom?
Yeah, I met her when I helped you move.
Oh, right. No, like my mom's super lovely.
Yeah.
She just has a mean streak about her.
No, that's great. I love mean streaks.
Yeah. No, she's a great lady.
Is she a good cook? Does she cook
She's an
traditional
amazing
Jamaican food
cook.
stuff?
Yeah, my sister's in town right now.
Yeah.
So they've been like cooking all weekend. I specifically did not go home today because I love my family. I'm so glad everyone's in town, but they are so much to be around.
I get it.
It was like all of the kids, all of the grandkids. One is a baby, my sister's new boyfriend, and my sister-in-law, and we're all in the house together. And I was like, I love all these people, but I'm going to kill myself if I stay here.
That's too many folks in a house in Arizona in the summer.
In the summer, yeah.
That's just bad.
And
Brian, what did we talk about last time?
Brian, goddamn it!
Just walk in front of the goddamn thing. People love you. People love seeing your nipples. Take your nipples out when you come back, Brian.
Show us your nips.
Show us the nips.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Bring me some Virginia Slims.
I've been watching a lot of Anthony Bourdain and his
which one?
Yeah, the CNN show that he had because that one's on Netflix.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
But anytime he goes to Jamaica, just the food that he eats there is like, oh my god, that looks so fucking good.
The food is so good.
Anytime,
and I've never had Jamaican food.
You haven't?
I've had beef patties from there was like an Italian place that they're all from beef patties are Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that an Italian place?
It's not an Italian, but these people are Italians from New York. Who,
And there's a pretty big Jamaican population in Queens. Yeah.
And it was really, really good, but I don't know what it compared to an actual beef patty. But then the rest of the food that they do. Was
I'll have to bring you over for dinner sometime.
What's a beef patty?
Yeah.
I would love to come over.
What's a beef patty?
It's like this little meat pocket, and it's like breaded outside, and it's got like beef inside, and it's real seasoned.
Yeah, it's basically like a pita pocket. You can get beef. There's some chicken. You can get them really jerked.
Yeah,
Ooh, I like it jerked.
They're super fucking.
We were waiting for that one.
They're so flaky.
The pastry on it is.
Yeah, my mom will get the microwavable ones, and even the microwavable ones are just flakes. It's so good.
Where do you get microwavable ones?
There were no tits there, Brian.
I think she gets them at Dollar Tree.
Actually,
okay. Yeah, she found
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I walked into her house and there were 68 beef patties in the freezer. I'm like, Elaine, what's happening? And she's like, I was at the Dollar Tree.
And they had beef patties.
We had this one. I used to have this one kid I took care of, and he ate from the Dollar Tree every day.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad. He would walk in with $7 worth of Dollar Tree food.
Oh,
he
man.
would crush it all.
You want to know what's funny though? Is like the beef patties. Sometimes they just have shit in there that no one else has because in Payson there was a dollar store and they had the best frozen fucking pot stickers.
Really?
Yes. Yes. They were better than any other pot sticker you could find in any other grocery store and better than a lot of the ones that you could get at a fucking restaurant. And they were a giant bag.
I'm getting so hungry right now.
No, God damn it.
Man.
All I've had today is pasta.
I'm going to have to put so many pictures of food up when I edit this episode.
I was hanging out with a bunch of straight white dudes today.
Yeah.
And Single straight white dudes are
Scary.
so fascinating because there's never food in their house.
No, never.
Like, I was like, is there anything to eat? And he's like, we have some pasta. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, but I don't have a pot. And I was like, how? Because his roommate stole his pot when she left. And I was like, why didn't you get a new pot? He's like,
Who
That's
wants
a trip
to pay
to
for
Dollar
a
Tree.
pot?
Yeah, that's a trip to Dollar Tree. Get some beef patties on your way back.
Throw the beef patties at the pot.
Listen,
if that's
sounds
how
like
you
a
cook
great
them. I
day.
don't know. I don't know
like
how,
a great day to
how you
me.
live your beef patty life.
That's funny because like my fridge right now is I've got a 12-pack of PBR and like 4 kilt lifters in there and a bunch of condiments, and that's it.
Nice.
That's
My
two
fridge-
bags of shredded cheese.
I'm a single white man, and my fridge is full with food that is not my own.
It's full of all his roommates' food.
It's full of everybody else's.
We're all in relationships.
Yep, they are, and they go shopping together, and that's why I don't go.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have food, is because I don't have anybody to go shopping with.
You could just go shopping
No,
with your
going
roommates.
shopping alone is the most horrible, or third wheel shopping, because you don't have a spot in the cart. You got to have your own cart, and then your third wheel in it, and you're breaking up and going other places. You need to have a partner to shop with.
No, you just listen.
Otherwise, you should just eat at restaurants.
You
all the
don't
time.
need to have a partner to do anything, Bill. You can do everything by
You're a
yourself.
strong, independent woman.
You are a big boy now.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
You are a big
I
girl
want to
now.
be taken care of by a daddy.
Listen, if
I want to be
I
a kept woman.
I want to be a kept woman.
if I could get taken care of by daddy right now too, I would do it.
I feel like I have to be daddy.
Yeah?
Like, I
Yeah.
feel like all of the dudes that come into my life, like, need someone to, like,
They do.
Yeah.
harness them.
They
Yeah.
do.
And I am not that person, but they still look to me like that because, like, I clean, like, my tile grout.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey, no.
No. This is just driving me insane.
Like, I live with my mother and I still eat ramen noodles just because I like the taste.
Yeah, ramen
like, she
noodles are
cooks
fucking
for
awesome.
me.
Hey, I had ramen this morning for breakfast. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. No, we went to Mekong Palace yesterday and they had, like, curry, like, the legit curry ramen for, like, it was like a 5-pack for like 98 cents.
I like curry.
Oh,
a
it's
lot.
so good. Yeah.
I've never
It's
had
one of
curry
my-
ramen.
It is pretty
Curry
good. It was very
anything is
spicy.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Like,
I
My
like
mom made
different types of curries.
My mom made a really good. My sister, who's in town, made a really good curry chicken, which is just like a chicken stewed in like the curry
Yeah. Mhm.
powder. It's so fucking good. Like poured over rice. It's like
Yeah.
one of my favorite places to go for lunch is this little Hawaiian barbecue spot, and they have like they have this fire chicken that's really good, and then they have a chicken curry katsu.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's got like the yellow curry with like potatoes, and it's just hearty as fuck. It makes me feel like a man, like I'm gonna be a big Samoan when I grow up.
Yeah, like probably my favorite curry is like a Penang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
which
good
is a
shit, too.
real like lots of vegetables in there and like a real thick broth.
Oh god damn it, we're talking about food again.
oh god.
I'm gonna have. I don't like.
We're going out.
was
We're
not
going out
hungry,
after
but-
this for something to eat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we
I'm
gotta eat
starving.
We have to. We have to. We should go. You know, we still haven't done it yet. And we've talked. Have you ever been to a churrascaria, a Brazilian barbecue? So they give you a puck, and it's
Yeah.
green or red. And green means keep the meat coming, and red means stop. And that's the interaction that you
They
have.
just walk around with big skewers of meat and different
That
types of
is
meat carved on your
perfect.
plate. Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted.
We've been fantasizing going together, Matt and I, and just seeing who could just have a fat off. We need to do the fat off.
Oh god, dude! Like,
Maybe
yeah,
that's
I
what
can't.
we
I
should-
can't control
Maybe
myself.
that's
when I
what
go
we
in there.
should do for episode 50 is the fat off.
Do what? Just do that and talk about it?
Yeah, we'll do the fat off. We'll film it. We'll talk about it.
I like my idea better.
I like your idea better too.
Phoenix Comedy Gangbang.
No, I'm not in shape enough for that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
I can take
need
my
to
shirt
do-
off in front of one
I
person.
could do some yoga. You know,
I don't have
some
the
stretching.
insurance to treat the chlamydia I would inevitably get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. There's an unconfirmed case moving around.
Oh God.
This is the rumor. So wrap your bits, everybody.
Everyone, wear your plastics.
Wrap your bits.
Put your
Wrap
plastics on.
bits.
Yeah,
Get your creams out.
People
Get
are
Get
nasty.
out your creams and potions
Human
and
beings are
jellies.
so gross. Like I was talking the other day about like I've had like 3 skin diseases in my life because of wrestling.
Oh well,
You
yeah,
know?
that's wrestling, man. Like, that's wrestling is such a fucking sweaty, moist environment all the fucking time that it's gonna happen. Like, You can't fucking do anything about that.
Yeah, that's why I was on the debate team. No physical contact. Everyone was too socially awkward for that.
No one
Probably
would
still
touch.
catch a skin disease in debate.
You probably have a higher chance of catching it in debate, actually.
Actually, like, because you're, like, shaking hands constantly.
Yeah.
So, like, one of my coaches, like, whenever a kid would, like, go to shake his hand, he would turn it into a fist bump because he didn't want to, like, keep touching sweaty 14-year-old hands.
Yeah.
That's how you get MRSA.
Yeah.
Sweaty 14-year-olds. We had a kid that I was talking with. It was with Michael Falcone. We had a kid lose his eye
From MRSA?
from MRSA.
Fuck.
Lost his fucking eye.
That's
There's
nuts.
another girl who ran track at the same college, and she got like a splinter kicked into her eye. Eventually, got MRSA from that.
Jesus
she
Christ.
didn't lose her eye though. They saved her eye.
Wow.
But it was just like two people, same school, fucking cases of MRSA in the eyes.
That's
Wow.
nuts.
Ugh. And that shit's no joke. Like I had a cousin get MRSA on her arm, and it was like a day later, and it was like a full avulsion,
Yeah,
just
that's what I
all the
heard.
tissue gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real motherfucker.
I got a staph infection. That's the worst that I ever got. But I got that doing construction,
Yep.
and I was putting together a door, and I was putting trim on the door, and I shot the nail gun through, and it came through, and it went into my finger, and it went into the bone and broke the bone. There's a little bone
Oh,
chunk in
Matthew.
there. Oh, yeah, there's this floating bone chunk in my finger.
Ew.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Because it just
Oh,
snapped.
things
It
you don't know about your friends.
It just snapped the
That's a
bone
good
right
one, right?
off. And so it just, my finger swole up really fucking big, and I was just, because like I shot myself with a nail gun.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
didn't realize you
that's
broke
what's
it.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've stepped on nails. I've done all kinds of
Yeah,
other
yeah.
shit. Like it's fine. I went back to work. 3 days later, my finger was getting bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden I started having these red lines going up my hand, and I was like, "Oh fuck, something else is going on." And I went into the urgent care, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a staph infection. You came in at the perfect time. Because if it was any further up your arm, we would immediately send you to the emergency room to be put on a bag of antibiotics." And they're like, "Right now, we can give you
Pills.
these pills, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But like, if it gets any further, you have to come back in immediately, or you're going to die."
I had
Holy
staph
shit.
on my face.
Yeah.
But what MRSA is an antibiotic resistant strain of staph.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a blood disease, so it just fucking moves through your body with such a quickness. Like it's insane. It's really, and it's one of the things.
And it's like highly contagious.
highly and it's one of the things. Like if an outbreak happens in a hospital, it can kill a ton of people.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Like they have to quarantine people off, like in hospitals.
and that's
shit
what's
because of
scary as shit too. Is like we don't know how to deal with that shit.
No.
You know, like even the targeted antibiotics that they do have. If there's an outbreak of MRSA, we're fucked.
Just-
and there's so many things like that.
But see, here's the problem. You look at that and you're like, "Oh my god, we're fucked." And at the same time, it's like, well, we were all gonna die anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like none of us is making out of it fucking alive.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
mean, like 200 years ago, they just would have burned a couple of virgins and hoped they appeased some
Right.
fire
Yeah.
god.
Right.
Burned virgins or giving people arsenic or mercury. We talked about that a lot in the
Yeah,
last
absolutely.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leech some people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
leeching.
leeches. Yeah.
Ugh.
We have scientists. They're working on it. Maybe they
What it-
figure it
well,
out
it's
and it
just
makes
like-
quality of life better. And if they don't, then
I
it's just
feel
one
like
more
you
thing
know
that
the
could kill you.
one more thing, and it's just like okay, so we figure out the next thing, right?
Yeah.
We figure out how to cure the next thing,
Right.
and then there's just something else that comes up.
I
It's
think-
like the new motherfucker.
I think what part of the big problem is like we're not, and this is going to sound so fucking faggy,
Come on,
but
come on,
We're
booze
not-
it up, bitch.
we're not.
Excuse me? You shouldn't be using that word.
I know.
No, I've been hanging out with David Kays all day. It's fine.
But no, it's honestly like the best, not in a derogatory way, but we're not like living in harmony with the fucking earth.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
we're
like way more people should be dying.
Yeah.
Like more women should be dying in childbirth, and they're like part of the reason why like a lot more women are having issues in childbirth is because like feminine hips are like shrinking.
they're not good breeding stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what you're
Because
saying.
the women that should have died in childbirth because their hips were
Right.
too small
Right.
are surviving because
Right.
of C-sections, which is a good thing.
Oh, that's great.
But their babies who have the small hip genes are also surviving to
Right.
breed. So now like the like hip to waist ratio for most modern women is like shrinking,
Right.
and it's going to make childbirth really difficult in the next like 100 years.
Oh yeah.
Damn. That's something we need, though, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
We
gonna
need
get to it's gonna get to a real
too many people.
fucking Superman point where we're just growing babies in fucking giant fucking baths. You know what I mean? Like it's just because
it's kind of there with in vitro.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we haven't been able to figure out how to replicate the womb completely, but
you've seen that sheep that they had.
Yeah, that was in the bag.
Yeah, they grew it in a fucking bag.
Yeah.
so nuts.
And it's like, well, the only reason they're doing that is so they can figure out how to do it with human beings.
Yeah.
Science, you're
Because
crazy.
honestly, I wouldn't want to have another human being go inside of me and then come out of me. Like and I'm a dude, and like for a woman, if you feel that way, then like fine.
there's a
grow a baby in a
instinct
bag.
there.
I don't give a shit. Like it's
for sure, but I think
As someone with a womb, there is a certain biological need to like be impregnated and have,
yes.
and it's weird because I don't want kids, but I also like want to be pregnant.
Right.
And like the logical part of me is doing everything to make sure that happens, but
Right.
then like my ovaries will like smell a baby. I'm like, okay, but what if I had one? Like, what if I was just super pregnant right now?
No, that's the thing is we have those animal instincts
Yeah.
and drives in us.
Yeah,
so.
it's terrible. And like the dude I'm saying like absolutely does not want to have kids. And like
Yeah.
I don't either. Like that's not a discussion that's on the table.
Right.
But like every once in a while I'm like, but what if they got his eyes? And I could tell if he could like hear my thoughts, he would run.
I mean, I think that's with most people, though. Like, if you could hear anybody else's thoughts, like, unadulterated, you'd run away from that human being.
If you
Oh, yeah,
guys could hear
1000%.
my unadulterated thoughts, it would just be about how much I love all of you
Oh,
all the time.
man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just thinking about getting pregnant immediately. I'm at 24, so I'm at like ripe breeding age. Like I
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
popping out kids like nobody's business.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to have a career and shit.
How dare you?
I know, my fucking fault.
I tell people 30. When you get to 30, then at that point you have enough life experience where you can.
I couldn't have.
But it's
a
not
kid
about
right
life
now.
experience. It's about my ovaries. They are soaking in chromosomes as we speak.
Well, life experience to decide what it is that you actually want for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you have a kid,
That changes a lot of
Yeah,
shit.
that's what you're doing.
It's
This is a father of three right here preaching.
It's pretty intense, man.
Like I'm not trying to have a baby yet.
Yeah.
30 is actually my prime age too. Like I
Right.
feel like this is now an intervention like
It is.
Trejon.
It's
Oh,
not-
no,
I mean,
no,
it
no,
kinda
no,
turned
no, no.
into one.
I tell people the same thing about marriage too. It's like get to 30.
Yeah.
There's so much life left after 30. There's so much room. You have all this time to like think about what you want to do during your 20s. Fuck around in your 20s with no consequences, really. You know, and
That's not
Have
true.
a good
Credit
time.
is always a consequence, buddy.
well, it's fucking.
Come on. We have a young listenership.
Credit,
we can't don't fuck your credit up, guys.
No, that's
Yeah,
not what I'm
don't go to
saying.
Don't
college.
fuck with reckless abandon either. We were just talking about the disease.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Wrap it.
Those people who go from like national park to
Don't listen
national
to
park
Matt.
like every different season, like working in hospitality and shit. They
Oh, that's cool. Do that.
They fucking hike and then they go work at the ski slopes and they go fucking skiing and
Yeah.
they travel the fucking world
Go do
and
that,
get
guys.
paid a little bit of money and have
do that.
fun. It's
Yeah.
just like do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Figure out what it is that
No fucking with reckless
that you want to do for the rest of your life. And
please, God, no.
if it's marriage after 30, then fuck get married. Like I don't believe in it, but if you want to,
Yeah.
fucking do it. But give yourself that time. I just think so many people get so.
No, they don't. And like, how many people did you graduate with? Like,
I didn't graduate.
wow, how many people you know that like went into this, or you? I mean,
Yeah.
you were in an arranged marriage, or how many people you know went into the service and
Oh,
like
yeah.
before they left, they got married like right away.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's just like people just jump into shit without thinking about it. You know, like this car loan that I'm in right now. Bringing it back to finance.
I've jumped a lot of.
Yeah.
I've jumped into a lot of shit that I didn't really think about too hard. And
What about you? What's your worst one? You're a young person, so like
The worst thing I've done or my worst
jumped in, like something you jumped into that you should have thought more about.
acting school.
Acting school,
Yeah.
yeah. What was that like?
I
'Cause you're arguably you're a very good actor. I've worked with you in that environment before, and I really you sell yourself very well in a whatever role that you have. So I,
thank you,
I
Bill.
really liked working with you
Well, thank
when
you,
we
Bill.
worked on Buddies.
it wasn't necessarily like going like acting school in itself that was a bad idea. It was where I went to school. I went to NAU, and I found out like when I got there that it was like A mediocre program and B full of racists.
Oh, Jesus
So
Christ.
like everyone was doing their, because like I was one of the better actors in the program, and like everyone knew that, but everyone also knew like we can't let the black girl feel like she has any self-worth. So I had so many of my like peers try to like stop me from doing auditions because they didn't want me to get my hopes up for getting cast.
No.
I was like,
That's
fuck
toxic.
you guys. Yeah, no, it's terrible. And
That
like
is
part of me was
terrible.
like, oh, I need to stay here and like prove them wrong. Blah, 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 blah. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nah, fuck it. These people don't deserve me. I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like it's good that you had the realization. You came back to ASU then to finish school, right?
Yeah.
Then you finished with.
I finished with a film studies degree.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Do you know like lenses and stuff, or
Film.
Did you do, like-
I was more on the writing side.
Okay.
So I know how to structure a screenplay like a motherfucker. But yeah, film studies is like screenwriting and theory, less like technical like camera stuff. But that was also like one of the better decisions I made. Not only like going to ASU, but also going into that specific program, because I learned a lot more about like how to view media and like how to make stories that are both entertaining and important.
yeah?
And it's also what led me into doing stand-up.
You do have a really solid structure to the way you write, and so much so that our passerby, our Sasquatch of the podcast, Brian Kearley, has stated that one of his favorite pieces of writing was your fan fiction that we watched at Comms.
Oh man, I actually am very proud of that fan fiction.
It was Darth Vader and
It was Darth Vader and Voldemort.
Voldemort, yeah.
And they meet in a bar in hell.
it's so in depth and just it's unbelievable. Actually, you really need to either read it or hear it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, like I will send you the link. Like I'm
Yeah,
actually
do it.
very proud of that piece of writing.
It's a pretty fantastic.
Do it.
fanfic.
I love the concept.
If
already,
you send me a
so.
link to, I'll post it with the podcast.
Oh, hell
if you're
yeah.
cool with
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Because it's gross. So don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
It's
no, it's like they have like graphic sex. Like it's
very
disgusting.
graphics, but it's fucking hilarious.
It was definitely like one of my better like received comedic pieces, which like makes me feel weird as a comedian. But
She wrote a gay fanfic between Voldemort and Darth Vader, and that's the biggest selling point she's got right now.
I'm so excited to
but
read this.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking, it's a masterpiece.
I sent it. I actually like after the show, I sent it to a dude I was seeing.
Wrong idea.
No, it actually ended up like. Because I was like, yeah, no, I did this really great fan fiction show, and he's like, oh, that's super cool. And I'm like, nah, that's fine. He's like, yeah, sure. And then he sent me his email address. I sent it to him, and half an hour later, he just texts me back, and he says, "You're an amazing woman."
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
if I'd have done the
fucking
same
phenomenal.
thing, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I'd have never gotten that second text.
That is the
Be like-
first time that fan fiction has actually gotten me
That's
laid.
awesome.
But not the first time that fan fiction has taught me how to have sex.
Ooh.
I have learned most of what I know about penises from My Chemical Romance fan fiction.
You're really into you're into like weird obscure fan fiction.
Oh, yeah.
My Chemical Romance is one. What's another one? What else do you read?
I didn't fucking know My Chemical Romance fanfic.
There's so much My Chemical Romance fan fiction,
my
man. This could be a
God.
podcast in and of itself. I was super
I'm gonna have to
into.
do I'm gonna have to do some research.
Yeah, in middle school, I was super into My Chemical Romance fan fiction. I tried to start an Amy Lee Lacey Mosley fandom, like Lacey Mosley from Flyleaf. I was like, they'd be really cute together, and like I wrote half of one fan fiction, and like 8 people read it.
Oh my god.
I'm super into Game of Thrones fan fiction. I talk about it a lot in my set.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I actually like legitimately am into the ones where they're all working in a coffee shop, or they're all in like the same political science class, and it's just like their like trials and tribulations. Like Renly Baratheon wasn't sure if he really wanted to go into politics. Like there's just something so funny about like these like larger than life characters, and they all work at the mall kiosk. It's
Yeah.
so great.
I like that. I like that. That's
Fucking
fun.
hilarious.
That's so much fun.
I wish I had the time to read something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not
so
that I don't have
fun.
the time. I'm just so lazy.
I allot time to a lot of other places.
How much do you
that
read?
are-
Do you,
I don't.
like how avid of a reader are you?
It's been a little less in like the past few years, but like in my heyday, like middle school to like mid high school, I was like on fan fiction forums every single day.
Yeah.
And I was like reading every single update that was coming through and like posting my own stuff. Like around college was when I got into Game of Thrones and thus the Game of Thrones fandom because I was very lonely in Flagstaff and I just did not want to leave my dorm room ever.
Yeah.
It's cold up there too.
Yeah, it's cold as shit. Everyone's racist. Yeah, and like the last couple of years, I've like dropped from fandom a little bit just because like I've had other shit going on. Like now that I have a life and have sex pretty regularly, like
There
I
you
don't
go.
need it as much.
That's the real game changer.
Yeah,
you know?
like I
used
didn't
to-
know that like
used
being
to
in a
work on cars and
relationship would
stuff.
like really kill my fan fiction drive. But now I'm like, well, I could read about people having sex, or it could be doing the sex.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll change your life.
It does.
It's an interesting
Reg-
thing.
regular
I wish I could
sex
give it
is like-
back. I wish I didn't ever experience it. Didn't know what I was missing.
Ooh, yeah,
You
no, I
know,
feel that.
when
I
you
had
go
like
through
a
the dry
Spoken
spells.
spoken like a real incel, Bill.
Fuck you, man. I'm so sick of that. I am not. I'm a volcel.
I'm
man.
a
just
voluntary celibate.
I'm just saying with how much you protest about it.
You're such a
you
dick
know.
face,
man,
Matthew.
off protest too much.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I know you
hate
do.
you all.
But you also love me, so
I do.
it's a weird thing for you.
Oh,
It's
man.
just it's a tender subject because I do voluntarily, and because it's like every time I take a sexual breath of air, so to speak,
Yeah.
like I get kicked in the nuts for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
feel that.
find out that I'm like too out of shape to have sex anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
it requires a little bit of work. You
It's
gotta
too
you
much.
gotta do
It's too much.
You
Not
gotta do
for
some
this
stuff.
bitch.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's like
The S stands for starfish.
you know how you like go to the you haven't been to the gym for a while, but you used to work out real hard, and then
Yeah.
you go into the gym and you try to work out like you used to, and then you can't walk right for the next couple days.
Yeah.
like that's what sex
No.
has been like for me.
Listen,
the past couple outings.
but here's the thing, like I'm gonna put everything into that workout, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a good fucking workout.
It's a solid performance.
If
that's for sure.
if I've got to take a week off after that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you know,
it's more like 2 months because I kind of feel bad. Like I'm ashamed. that
you
I
need to
gassed out
get
before I
get
came.
this Catholic bullshit guilt out of your fucking head. You know what I
Raised
mean?
with it, man. I
Fuck,
can't.
dude,
It's
let it
just-
go, bro.
Guilty
It's-
little boy here.
Listen, D, I love you. You know I
She
love
fucked
you,
me
D.
up with that stuff.
I-
Man.
you-
She made me hold the
Let-
light the candles
Let Bill
in front
go.
of the fucking in front of the child molesters.
Release Bill from this Catholic guilt mindset that's ruining his fucking
She's
sex
so
life.
fucking mad that I'm not like I don't know how
He can't even get his dick touched without feeling terrible about it.
I do every time.
And it's turning him into an incel.
I'm not an incel.
D, you don't want your son to be an incel, okay? They're not the best guys, all right?
an incel.
Oh no, I've met incels. You're not an incel.
God damn it, Trejon. You know what I'm doing on here? I'm trying to condition this man every goddamn podcast.
Why you got to do this to me? You know you're going to be the death of me. I was talking about how it's going to be someone in traffic. No, it's going to be you.
No,
on this
it'll
podcast, just
absolutely-
fucking putting me into cardiac arrest.
It'll absolutely be me. That's
It will
my
be.
goal.
You're a
Yep.
fucking dildo.
Oh, I'm a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer piece of shit. Dildo is...
You're a dildo.
No, a dildo has...
You're a dildo's
Dildo's
you're a doe of
useful.
dills.
Yeah, dildos have purpose.
Dildo's a useful thing.
He's an unuseful dildo. He's like a micro penis dildo that
Oh,
nobody
no.
wants to touch.
He's like a porous
Oh.
dildo. Just
All
a
right.
bunch of abrasions and micro lesions.
He's a dildo that's made of sandpaper.
I'm just a silicon... just a fucking silicon quarter and just like that's it. Well, I guess I can fucking wrap it against it for a second, but that's about it.
You're a beautiful boy.
I know. Thank you. So are you.
No, thanks.
Yeah, I love you.
Yeah, you're both handsome men.
Aw, Trejon.
Thanks, Trejon.
Yeah,
You're
you
so
guys.
sweet.
Aw.
I like that you. I like that you took the braids out. I must say that.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Rocking the sleek summer look right now.
I'm feeling bouncy and
Yeah.
fancy free.
Yeah.
I've got to say, like, as my hair's gotten longer, like having hair on the back of your neck is just such an added heat source.
Yeah,
It
it's,
is.
Like, that
it's
you
so
wouldn't
fucking
think
garbage.
of.
I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
That's the
so
that's the
bad.
point of your body that regulates how you feel, whether you're hot
so
or
bad.
cold.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so bad.
I love the braids. They're a signature part of my look, but I took them out and like went out to do shit. I'm like, I can't do this again, not until
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
Like I forgot what it's like to just be free.
Yeah.
October 1st, everybody, mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars.
Trejon's braids are back.
The brandy braids are back.
The braids are back in town.
The braids are back in town.
We could do like that's what we'll do. We'll have to make a song. We'll get like
love it.
we'll compose it. We'll do the braids are back in town.
Yeah.
Trejon's walkout
Braids
song.
are back in
All
town. The
month.
braids are back in town.
That'd be great.
And no one will book me because they're gonna be sick of that song. I'll have a show on October 2nd, and then I'll never work in this town again.
Be like, hey, thanks for booking me on your show. Can you play this song as I come up on stage?
And this is a show that classically doesn't have music. It's just an open mic.
Be like,
And they're just like, we don't have anything to play. No, you can just use my phone and like hold it into the mic. You know, as I walk up.
I'll bring my portable speaker.
Yeah,
and
I'll bring my
Bluetooth.
boombox.
Yeah.
I have an Echo. I have an Amazon Echo.
Oh, this is so sad. Alexa, play The Braids Are Back in Town.
Alexa. Oh my God! All right, so I had an experience with an Alexa the other day.
Yeah.
That was like one of my fun. I need one here just so I can tell it to do shit while we're recording.
Yeah.
But so I go. I'm at Nolan's and I'm helping Cone fix his car, and I go, Alexa, play "Washing My Big Old Pussy" by Bird Cloud. and Alexa goes, cannot find "Washing My Big Old Puss." And I said, no, pussy! And she goes, no, pussy is not a valid entry.
That's what I always am, all right, fellas?
Oh, shit.
That was a patriarchy joke for everybody.
Killed it. Fucking killed it.
That's great. Nice,
I have a
nice time.
12-inch penis, ladies.
It's
Congratulations.
around.
Thank you.
By the way.
Around.
Thank you.
Think about it. Name that movie.
American Pie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
Up top.
Yeah.
Up top.
I
for the
actually-
Steve Stifler quote.
I actually went to the movie theater to see every single one of those movies.
They were
That
great
is
movies.
weird dedication.
They were great movies. I don't give a fuck.
There was not a lot of good shit back in the day.
I guess.
You guys have really come along in an age when shit was a
You
lot
guys,
better.
I'm not that much younger than you.
You're
3
enough.
years.
You're enough
I'm
younger.
3 years younger than you.
That's enough, though. Plus, I was raised in the woods in a very small town.
I was raised
so-
in the middle of a field.
I was
Yeah,
raised
small
in
town.
Mesa.
Yeah.
She was raised in,
I'm sorry
in
for
dirt.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mesa's
Mormons.
Dirty. Mesa's
Oh,
a
yeah.
dirty place.
Where'd you go to school?
Strange
I
dichotomy of
went
humans.
to elementary school at Entz, which is like East Mesa.
Okay.
And then I moved to Tempe in elementary school, or in middle school. So I went to middle school at Conley, and then I went to high school at McClintock.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mesa's a weird place because you have all those giant properties and mansions out east, and then there's like some of the poorest neighborhoods in the valley in Mesa too.
Yeah, it's sketch.
Have you driven like through the orange groves, like on Val Vista, and seen those fucking mansions back there? Those things are insane.
My cousin had her wedding at a friend's house, and her dad was like, he owned a helicopter company.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if they worked on helicopters or they just like, were a helicopter like rental company or something.
Fucking
Anyway,
Catalina wine mix.
he
man.
just had fucking bank. Like
Yeah.
he had a giant like toy garage.
Yeah.
And in the toy garage was like a 30-foot yacht, like little like boat thing. I
Right.
don't know, big fucking boat.
Right.
The Suzuki Hayabusa with a turbocharger on it,
Nice.
which that's a crazy motorcycle, like crotch rocket, you'll die.
Right.
Then like 2 jet skis, just all this shit, dude. He had a little like in the back, tucked behind the boat and everything. He had like this little little bug looking helicopter, like just kind of tucked in there. And I was just like, this place was huge.
Yeah.
Like the lot was like 5 fucking acres with orange trees, probably that nobody could eat because they were poisoned.
Yeah.
Fucking lining the property.
Most of those orange trees are actually, because those are all the old orange groves
Yeah.
where like all the citrus came from
Yeah.
here, and so most of them are still like. They have some citrus stands out there. You can go get fresh. Fucking, it's the best fucking shit.
One of the coolest spots in Mesa. I really wish it could be something like one of the coolest buildings that you drive by at downtown Mesa is the Sunkissed factory.
Oh, I love that fucking place.
That old brick Sunkissed factory.
Yeah.
It's the coolest looking fucking
I haven't
building.
been there.
Like I would love to. I wish that area was like not as kind of
It's
just
in a
poopy.
weird spot. It's on like Broadway and like Country Club, but Country Club goes under
Yeah.
Broadway because the railroad goes across,
Yeah.
and that's where the citrus would go onto the railroad right there. So they have this
okay.
old Sunkissed thing. I
It's
don't even
super
think.
cool.
I don't.
I think it's abandoned.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's in there, and there's nothing going on.
There's
there.
nothing going on there.
Except for the gold.
Well, they've cut down
Yeah.
most of the fucking citrus groves at this point because they're building houses.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
They got a bunch of citrus down towards Tucson still, though, right?
well, I'm just
They
saying,
do.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in this area, Mesa used to be just
That was the hap.
Yeah, it was
store.
just cows and oranges.
fucking
Yeah.
orange street. It was
Yeah.
cows and oranges.
You got a lot of cows in Gilbert still.
They do.
Yeah, there's a lot of right around Red Mountain.
Chandler.
As soon as you get off the freeway heading to Red Mountain High School,
Yeah.
like it's nothing but cow shit until you reach the house, the high school. Like you can smell it through your car. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I hate cattle farms.
It used to be worse. It used to be like when I was a kid and you drive to where Mesa Mountain View High School is, which is like Brown and
Yeah.
Lindsay. that used to be
Just
all cows over there
all
and all
cattle.
cow shit. Like as soon as you like pulled in close to the school, it's like, okay, these are fucking farmers out here. Like this is real. This is real shit.
One of the worst.
last weekend.
Did you? Where'd you go?
Yeah, we were
go
up
camping.
like midway between Sedona and Flagstaff.
Okay, up on Oak Creek. up
Yeah,
there.
Oak Creek. Yeah, Oak
Beautiful
Creek.
back there.
And it was a really beautiful camping ground, but it was also where all the free range cows are.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hate cows.
Why?
I had a terrible
They're
run-in
real
with
dumb.
cows when I was 13.
Yeah.
I was in Jamaica, and me being a dumb city slick. Jamaican cows are very aggressive. Like everything else in Jamaica,
Right.
they don't fuck around. And I didn't know that. I just thought of cows as dumb, slow-eyed things.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, ooh, a cow, let me pet it. So I go over, it starts like mooing and like huffing its hooves
Oh,
and starts
no.
like gutting for me. And like the only reason I'm alive today is because there was a chain around that
Yeah.
fucking cow's neck.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So me and cows don't get along. And I was with like 3 white dudes in the forest, and they're like, "No, let's camp with the cows. It'll be fun."
And you just like freak the fuck
Yeah, and
out.
the whole time I'm just like fucking holding on to the tent. Like, if any of these motherfucking cows come near me, it's gonna be steak tonight, boys.
got PTSD
Oh,
from
it was
cows.
so bad.
I used to get chased by cows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because where we lived in the woods, that was all open range. Like every part of the national forest, someone has a permit to take their
Free
cat
range
to
in
free
it,
range
yeah.
their cow in there. Someone has a permit for that area, so they could be anywhere at any time. But they used to come in all the time because there's no fucking fences. You know, and they'd come into this big center lot that we had, and there was inside that like a wood fence, like gardened off area. And I remember being a kid, I would go out into the yard, I would fuck with the cows. And then like run around in a circle around this little thing and have them chase me around until like it got too scary and I had to jump through the fucking
Oh
fence.
fuck no.
But yeah,
No, fuck cows.
because like I used to be walking down the street too, and like it would be fucking dark out because there's no street lights. It's the middle of the fucking woods. So it's
Yep.
just stars and darkness. And there'd be a fucking giant bull just laying down in the middle of the road. And you would just be like, oh shit! Like I
I
have
used to have nightmares about
backtrack.
like walking down trails and encountering bears for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I had a reoccurring nightmare of like encountering bear, and that's where that bear joke came from.
Yeah.
Was like just this reoccurring nightmare of like going down a trail and seeing like a bunch of fucking like grizzly bears just hanging out there.
Yeah.
Can you give that a restart real quick? Just stop. Thank you, Brian. This reoccurring dream about the bears, and I would wake up in like a cold sweat, like I was getting mauled by
God.
fucking bears.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it was so bad.
I used to have, I still kind of do. I have an irrational fear. Like, whenever I walk past an alley, I'm afraid a big cat is going to, like a lion or a tiger is going to jump out and maul me.
Yeah.
And it's because when I was like 8, I watched a documentary about a guy who had a pet tiger in Brooklyn and it escaped.
Oh Jesus
I
Christ.
saw
Yes.
that guy. I
Yes.
saw that motherfucker.
It
There's
was-
been a few of those guys in
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
it's been fucked up. So now every time I'm like, which one of my crazy ass neighbors has a leopard
Yeah.
that is going to escape and kill me?
Dude, there's some really like lax, like exotic animal laws in certain states.
Right.
And New York, for some reason, is one of them. And like,
Because of all the crazy Manhattan rich people.
dude, it is. And I watched one where this dude like he was like on his fire escape because his tiger had gotten fucking pissed and like started ragdolling
Jesus
him.
Christ.
And he had a tiger in the projects.
Yeah.
And like they had to send like the fire department to get him off the fire escape, and then
that's
like fucking trank dart this
Yeah,
giant tiger in his fucking
It
apartment.
was so goddamn scary.
The thing that always amazes me is the people who get chimpanzees.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do you
And
think
then-
you're doing?
And then they rip your face off.
And then they rip your fucking face off.
they go balls
It's like-
first.
Yeah.
they go. They disfigure like
Well-
that's
Yeah.
it's built into them.
I'm thinking
really fuck you up.
I'm thinking specifically of that lady that not too long ago, like
The one that was like.
the monkey was trying to fuck her,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like
And
ripped her
got
fucking face off.
Got jealous of
Yeah.
her. Didn't it get jealous of her friend? Didn't it rip her friend's face off?
It did something. I don't know. Like,
Someone's face is gone.
someone had no
She
face
was like
after
she
encountering
was feeding
this
it like
chimpanzee.
Xanax and martinis and stuff.
Man.
Yeah, and that's how she's like keeping this like 6-year-old chimp like calm. And then one day it just like got jealous of a friend and like ripped her face off. Like
Was this chimpanzee like my divorced aunt? What the fuck is going on?
pretty much? I mean, he's just that's actually an evolved chimp. Like
He's just trying to maintain, man. Like he's just trying to get through the day.
He's just evolved to domestic violence.
God, I read this fucked up story about like an orangutan in Borneo that was like a sex orangutan.
No.
Like, yeah, no, like
They were
people
fucking the orangutan?
They were fucking the orangutan.
No.
People like in Borneo would go and pay money to fuck this orangutan.
Aw.
It was so fucked up. And like when the rescue people came, like the orangutan like presented itself because it thought it was gonna get fucked. It was the saddest thing I'd ever read in my life.
Orangutans are like
That's fucking terrible.
that's been like the primate that's made me saddest at the zoo. When I go, like when you go to the zoo, because there's like there's a family of orangutans at the Phoenix Zoo.
Yeah.
And the mama orangutan, so she's had like 2 kids so far, and she will never be within like viewing distance. She'll always be at the back of the enclosure with like something over her head, looking outwards away from everybody, and it's like. That's a fucking clinically depressed orangutan.
I have seen her. I have seen her be very active. and
Really?
I've seen her be sexually active.
Oh,
Actually,
that's
yeah.
fun. I'm
Yeah.
glad she's
Look
still
at
living
you.
her life
You're
out
one
of
of these
kids.
fuckers that goes to Borneo to fuck
I'm not.
orangutans.
I went to the Phoenix
You
Zoo.
sick
I went to the Phoenix
You got a
Zoo.
beard like someone that would fuck a Borneo orangutan.
And the 2 orangutans at the
blondness.
zoo were giving themselves oral pleasure. They were
Wow.
69ing it.
What?
And
Really?
it was
Orangutan 69?
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
can't even 69. What the hell's going on here?
Otang 69.
Otang 69. It was phenomenal. I was like, good for you guys.
I'm
I mean, I know,
a
like-
fan of
Watched it, I
69
laughed, it was
either.
great.
It's just there's too much
There's
nose
the-
and butthole.
I feel like
Yeah, there's a lot of nose and
it's-
butthole. There's a lot of like feet in face.
Yep.
I'm
Let's
not a
just-
fan.
Let's take care of each other one at a time.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you know, I'm not.
could
I'm
take
not in a
turns.
hurry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to
No.
get somewhere.
Let's make this last a while. Let's have a
Yeah.
good time.
Like,
Let's
if I'm
have
gonna be
fun.
down here, I'll
Stop
be down
69.
here. It'll
Yeah.
be okay.
Stop referencing it like it's cool too.
Yeah,
Like,
no one-
It's not.
But when
Write
I
in if
watched-
you've had an enjoyable 69 experience, because I don't think they exist.
When I watched
Yep.
the orangutan 69, it was cool as fuck. Okay. So
I mean, I know bonobos like just have sex for fun, but I didn't know other apes did.
Oh man, they like to play with
Sex for
themselves quite
pleasure
a
is
bit.
an ape thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, we have a
apes and
resident
dolphins.
We have a resident ape expert in the house, actually. So if we do have any questions or have anything that we've fucked up, I will hear about it later.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's just start saying some blasphemous shit about apes then. Let's go.
Please
let's-
don't do it.
Coco the gorilla.
Please don't
Fuck
do it.
you, Coco.
Let's get
Coco
Bill.
just died.
Let's get
okay?
Bill into
Just
some deep
you're
goddamn
right.
shit.
respect.
I actually, my friend,
Tits out for Coco.
Tits out for Coco. Actually, my fella showed me the video of Coco the gorilla meeting Mr. Rogers.
What?
I started bawling. It was the purest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And he was like, "I'm sorry I made you cry." I'm like, "No, I needed this."
It's good tears. These are my favorite tears.
Mr. Rogers is a bad motherfucker. I wish all the rumors were true about him.
Oh.
They're
No,
not.
he's just
They're
a
not.
good person.
He's just a good dude.
He's
He
a-
wasn't a war hero. He didn't have a
No.
bunch of
He
He was just a
confirmed
nice
kills.
guy that
Real
liked to play the
sweetheart.
piano.
Yeah. He switched his shoes when he came in. He switched his cardigan when he came inside, like a fucking civilized human.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I'm such a nice person. Is because I just
Mr.
watch
Rogers?
so much Mr. Rogers.
Oh, yeah, I have dated a bunch of dudes who are like unhealthily obsessed with Mr.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Really?
Like, not that you can be unhealthily obsessed with Mr. Rogers, but like,
there's a level.
I guess, like,
There's an upper level to everything.
but like, I don't know. Like, I've dated a lot of dudes who are just like really into Mr. Rogers
Yeah.
and just like have like a
Yeah.
real affinity for him,
Like,
which
they
is
got-
weird because they're also like the most nihilistic alcoholic motherfuckers that I've
Yeah,
ever
I
dated.
don't think I like
But I
that.
love Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
He got like a trolley on the wall.
Bob Ross was the other one too. Like
Bob Ross.
Yeah, it's Bob
Ross,
Ross,
yeah.
Mr. Rogers, and Steve Irwin, and
Steve
LeVar
Irwin.
Burton.
Steve Irwin
Ooh,
is
LeVar
my
Burton.
fucking
Reading
hero.
Rainbow, man.
I've gone back, rewatched Crocodile Hunter as an adult. I fucking miss that human being.
Have you seen any of
Steve Irwin's not quite my
Bindi
thing.
Irwin's?
No, I won't watch anything with Bindi. I'm sorry.
I've watched a couple. She's actually got like the same spirit as her dad.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she holds her own, but like you can tell like, oh yeah, no, she was raised on this shit.
Yeah.
She's got her dad's eyes.
She does.
Just crazy.
And her
as fuck.
mom's titties.
Carries them around in her pocket.
Hey, her mom did have nice titties. Shout out to Sue Irwin.
Yeah, shout out Sue Irwin.
And those mom jeans that she'd be rocking.
Oh yeah, no, she killed
Yeah.
those mom khakis.
Oh, the high-waisted khakis that she'd be moving around in.
I think that was when I
catching
realized
lizards.
I was gay.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely,
was-
definitely a sexual awakening
I
moment
don't
for
think
me.
I was watching the same show that you guys were watching
No?
at all.
You
Yeah.
were watching it. I think you might have fell out by the time you married Sue.
I didn't get a lot into the Crocodile Hunter. I watched a little bit of
he
it.
was
I was
great.
like raising kids and shit though.
He was
You know what I
great.
mean? I was like
no,
being an
I was
adult.
just a kid being raised.
Yeah.
Then you had Steve Irwin, or not Steve, Jeff Corwin. Excuse me.
Oh yes,
Jeff
Jeff
Corwin.
Corwin.
Jeff Corwin was a bad motherfucker.
I don't even remember what I
put gay
know the
people
name.
on the gay biologists on the map.
Yeah, he was.
I don't even know if he's gay, but he seemed.
He
like
seemed pretty
was.
gay. Yeah, no, he was a hottie. I was also a big fan of Zaboomafoo and the Kraft Brothers.
Oh, Zaboomafoo was so
Zaboomafoo
dope.
was so good.
What is a Zaboomafoo?
Yeah,
was like a-
while walking in the woods one day, Jeff and Ian saw something strange. A little leaping lemur who liked to dance and play.
This is amazing. Zaboomafoo was a lemur.
Yeah.
And
What was a show about a lemur?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a show about a little lemur.
Wow.
It's really cute.
It's super adorable.
Listen, the song's adorable. It sounds adorable.
I wish I remembered more of the song.
I'm just trying to figure out how I don't know that this is a thing.
Do you remember the show that was like all Jim Henson puppets of different animals? Do you remember what that was called?
No.
Oh, dude, it was so good. I used to love that show. I would stay home from school to watch that shit, like, because it was fucking fantastic.
I got nothing.
Guys, if you know of that show, please comment so that I can find it on YouTube and watch it again.
I always get amazed on the things that I missed out on. That I just have like just this total darkness of like this just didn't exist in my life. You know what I mean? Because I was just so doing other shit and so cut off from like certain aspects of society. It was like Zaboomafoo. Like,
Well, I mean,
fuck.
I have a similar thing like that. Like, you know, I wasn't in an area where music was very accessible,
Right.
like live music. So
Yeah.
I don't have the same breadth of knowledge that you have for music.
Well, part of the reason
I
it's
didn't have
so
the affinity for fan fiction she did. Or, you know,
part of the
like, we
reason
all have
like
our things.
my music affinity is so big because that's like the only thing that you had
Yeah.
is like
That's
a
all you
way
could get access
you
to.
could like you had a CD player or you had like a tape deck, but really that was it because the radio stations were all fucking terrible, the TV stations were all terrible, like it was all basic shit. So it was like I had friends who knew what really good music was, and I just listened to that all the time.
I was really big into TV growing up, but not movies, just because like we couldn't afford to like go out and see like the latest movies.
Yeah.
Right.
But like we always had at least basic cable. So like I know a lot about TV and like old movies that would be on like TBS and
Yeah.
shit. So like one of my favorite movies is like this obscure Selma Hayek, Matthew Perry rom-com called Fools Rush In,
remember
where
it.
he knocks up Selma Hayek and then they have a baby together.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite movies. I've watched it so many times.
Yeah. That was
I love me some Selma Hayek.
That was one of those that they played on HBO all the time. See,
Yeah.
the one thing that we did have is we had like HBO. So any movies that I ever did like see was only because it was like the HBO movie of the week. You know what I mean?
You want
Like
a
that
fun
was
Selma
it.
Hayek fact? You ever see the movie Desperado?
Yeah.
So the sex scene between her and Antonio Banderas in Desperado, they cut to like one where she's supposed to be on, like she's on top, and it's just like a real quick cut to.
Yeah.
And I watched it in slow mo once because I was a dirty little kid.
Yeah.
And it's a mannequin.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's a fucking
fun.
mannequin.
Aw.
And
That's
it was just a really
hilarious.
fast cut, and they
Yeah.
used and it was just Antonio Banderas like pumping a mannequin over
Yeah.
the
That's
crotch.
hilarious.
funny.
I remember that sex scene did things to me.
Yeah,
I
it
think
did
I
things
was-
to me too. That's
I
why
think
I
I
watched
was
it in
like
slow motion.
8 or 9 when I first saw that movie, and I was on vacation. I was in Jamaica at my grandma's house, and like in Jamaica, there's like 5 TV channels. So like one of my uncles just had it on DVD, and like I was watching it, and I'm like, I feel like something has changed within me, and I don't know what it is.
So
Yeah.
your awakening was Selma. Mine was Lucy Lawless's Xena.
Yeah. My actual
Xena
awakening
was
was
gorgeous.
Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh.
Legit
Yeah,
Fancy.
that was legit when I realized I like women. I was like 6. I was like, I get why Frollo would burn down Paris for this woman.
Yeah. That and he was actually schizophrenic. You know?
Yeah, there's also that.
That's a thing.
I love how they cutesed up schizophrenia for Disney.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that movie.
Oh no, not Quasimodo. Frollo, the priest.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, he was the
Getcha.
villain. But yeah, no, Quasimodo was just losing his mind because he was
Yeah.
so attention starved. And they made him gargoyles with Jason Alexander.
He was great though. I
He
mean,
he was fun.
was
Pour
fun.
the wine and cut the cheese.
I love that you have like just such a depth of songs in you from random Disney and Zaboomafoo references.
Oh yeah, no, because all I did, because I was a very lonely child. My mom worked all the time, so all I would do was watch, like in the mornings, Maury, Jerry Springer, and
This
the
is how you
Golden
grow a
Girls.
comic.
Yeah, no, this is exactly how you grow a comic.
How you do it.
And then like all I'd watch would like be like PBS shows and shit. Like I watched every single episode of The Golden Girls before I was like 13.
I had that with Roseanne and Frasier. Definitely.
Yeah, it was like that and The Nanny. I've seen every episode of.
I used to watch MASH all the time.
Fran Drescher.
Mr. Sheffield.
I just wanted to die.
Ugh.
Oh, I like
Her voice is so painful.
It's like
It-
her voice
it's, like,
is worse than
hurts.
Gilbert Gottfried's.
But she's gone through a lot and she has survived a lot.
That's wonderful.
What has she
That's
gone
amazing.
Breast cancer, sexual
What? Really?
assault.
Listen, I'm-
yeah.
Fran Drescher
I
has breast
won-
cancer?
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't doubt the sexual
100%.
assault. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's everybody.
I 100% commend her and support her for getting through all that stuff. However, her voice is so fucking grating.
Yeah.
That it just kind of
It's one of the worst.
scratches, gouges into my soul. Where it's just like,
Hurts my heart.
I'm a Fran fan.
You're a Fran
that's
fan.
okay.
I think
you can
Fran
do that.
Fine is just fine.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've been on for about an hour.
Let's get some food.
Let's get some food.
Let's eat some
Yeah.
fucking
I'm
food.
very meaty and sweaty. Trejon Dunkley, what do you have coming up that we can promote for you?
Coming up
This will be out next week.
next
so
week.
give us a little
Let
future.
me check out my
A
calendar.
little look in the future.
I'm doing a show next Friday in Prescott at Mark's Beer Garden.
That sounds fun. Prescott, Mark's Beer Garden.
I'm also opening for Chris Thayer at Brouhaha Comedy in Tucson.
That's that
That's-
Borderlands.
Borderlands. That's on the 20th.
We have a friend that show's a friend of the podcast. Matt Zemak and Rory Montserrat run a fabulous ship down there. So have fun with that show.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing the superhero draft battle Wednesday the 22nd.
That sounds fun. Where's that at?
It's at Comedy off Main Street.
Awesome.
It's going to be me, Nathan Evangelista, Giuseppe Giovanni, and I think Steve Mandel. So I'm going to get destroyed, but I'm going to learn a lot about comic books in the process.
Fuck yeah. Well, Trejon, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
for
coming
having
on.
me. This was super fun.
This is a blast.
Great.
Yeah.
Maddie,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Bill, that's not a nice thing to say to me. And I know you're going to cut off this podcast, and the last thing that anyone's ever going to hear is you saying, Maddie, fuck off.
It is.
But I'm going to post this.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You don't have access. You don't have
Here's
the
what I'm
codes.
going to do.
You don't have the codes, Matt.
I'm
Can't
gonna
do shit. Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna
We're
record a
moving meat sweats.
postscript. I'm going to